Greetings everyone, and great here for another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the right side as the Yellow Empire, we have Dimon. Spawn on the left side as the Green Allies, we have Jasper. I got, of course, Instant Generator. Let's see how many Dojo codes go for. It's pretty common for people to go for 3, but this replay is relatively older. It just goes for 2. Oh, there's 3rd. And there's his ore refineries now. We do not have a Dogi advancing on forward, as well as a laser lock javelin is trying to eye for the garrisons. Do not have a burst drone deployed out on the field. Goes for the instant Dojo right here. And this year will manage to claim the garrison and this, or not garrison, oil derrick, and the garrison's not actually fully destroyed, but of course cannot be garrison anymore. Maybe Iron 4 Riptide to load them up. Looks like some of these pieces of creepers are starting to get crushed by the Dojo Cord. 2 of them do get crushed there. We got a good number of javelin troops being plotted out here, so it's likely going to go for a Riptide with build up of 5 javelin troops. And now do also have a Mecha Bay plotted out as well as a power plant. It's a Dojo going for more Imperial Warriors. I don't think that could be Engineer. Nope, Tank Buster. Of course, got 1 Tank Buster here. He's not going for the Engineer just yet. Tank Buster gets some good damage there, but he's starting to focus on the Tank Busters. And the Tank Buster does get gunned down. The Warriors get some good damage there. Up, and there's the Engineer to capture the oil derrick. Airfield coming on up, maybe eyeing for some Vindicators. Peacekeepers and Tank Busters are falling back. We're seeing a bit of fire there. And Tank Busters have, of course, been gunned down. Now the Imperial Warriors are trying to bonsai away, and one of them does get gunned down now. Mecha Tankos may eye for a transform. No, they do not eye for a transform there. And listen, now it does get some transforms there, trying to kill off this Riptide. It should be able to get it, no problem. That could be tier 2 being researched right there. Nope, that's not tier 2, that's just more Mecha Tengus. Looks like he's just low on economy, not eyeing for his high ground expansion just yet. Green is redeploys MCV up here. It hasn't gone for expansion yet either. And we do hear some Apollos now in the air. Javelin troops find some good volleys there. Trying to go for onto the charge there. Get some great damage onto those javelin troops. Looks like 3, maybe 4 of them went down. Not sure if there's any javelin troops inside of that Riptide either. And there was actually some there, so they didn't lose out actually how many javelin troops, but 3 of them only remains. Oh, here Apollo's now trying to engage these Jack Tengus. Let's get one of them killed. Riptide in this region. I do hear somebody deployed on out. Looks like he does get his refinery up there. Both Yellow has not gotten his extra ore refinery just yet. The Apollos is seeing a bit of fire there, but of course they're falling back to get healed up. It does get a sell off on one of those wall segments. Does get a bit of damage there. Got the javelin troops now firing away. They're quickly being focused on by these Mecha Tengus. Does get a nice bomb run there on one of the Mecha Tengus, and this Riptide will go down. Does take out one of the Mecha Tengus before going down. Prospector now back on try pursuit. Got the MCV, does not get a crush there, and now the Prospector is back on the build queue. One of these Mecha Tengus will get crushed there, the other one will get bombed. Paul's now flying about. We got another boot camp or instant dojo being deployed on out. We got, of course, the Dogi out at sea. Apollo's now received a bit of damage there, nothing too significant. And I don't see any much military for the Empire player. That has to be the upgrade now, Mecha Bay upgrade, and that was. So he does now have tier 2. He may be eyeing for some Striker VXs or some Tsunami tanks. This Prospector has been pulled off the line. Trying to avoid this Mecha Tengu, who's a veteran. Does throw a bombing run there. It does survive the Vindicator bombing run thanks to that point defense drone. This Riptide may be loaded up with something. That's just a Sea Dog. And now this Prospector is receiving a bit of fire. Does take out that Mecha Tengu there with the Vindicator. Got a handful of Striker VXs. This could be a Tsunami tank, could be a Striker VX. It's hard for me to say. Got some tank busters deployed on Allen's Field, going for a bit of a mixed force. Riptide's advancing forward. One of them does get shrunken. Does get some good damage down to the Prospect, onto the Crowdcopter. I think that Riptide's there just meant to shatter the frozen targets.
Get out!
And Crowdcopter's now receiving lots of damage there. It does get transformed there. Takes the Crowdcopter as well. And now the Tank Punch trying to engage the Riptide. Riptide's now low health and does not find any. Oh. Nope, does not find any additional volleys there to take out that Riptide. Apollo's to receive a bit of fire there. They're falling back against some repairs. And we got now 4 Chopper VXs, 1 Striker VX on the field. Make that 5 Chopper VXs and 0 Striker. 5 Chopper VXs, 0 Striker VXs. Do now have Assault Destroyer being deployed on the field, designed to advance on the sea and crush down some of these wall segments. Jessica one of Paul's there with the Striker VXs, very nice. And now I do have a Sea Dog advancing on forward. Tank Busters are coming over here. They will find some good volleys there onto the Assault Destroyer, though, and that one does go ahead and get on the ground. And now we've got the nice bark there taking out or studying some of these forces. Where did that Orc go there? Orc's right there. Orc does not get crushed, but I think one of the Striker VXs got crushed. But we got now the Chopper VX getting hit by the Apollo. One of the Apollos do go down. Another Apollo does go down. Does take out the Jet Tengu. And this Collector is still alive and being tasked back onto the field. We do now have the Apollo there receiving a bit of fire, or dished out a bit of fire. And now got the boot camp under fire. Budokan turret being pulled on the field. And it's coming up pretty slow. That's probably about the speed for a Budokan turret there. I don't know why. That doesn't seem like a Budokan turret to me. I don't see a defense bureau, so that has to be a Budokan turret. Not a prison tower and not a chronosphere. Does get, oh, maybe bad time to transform right next to that Budokan turret there. And the Budokan turret will get some good volleys there. I'm still used to like watchtowers and other sort of defenses from Kane's Wrath. That's maybe one reason why that looks so slow to me, because those build pretty quickly. This will start advancing forward. There's 2 Peacekeepers here, one quite wounded. He may need to get some more Peacekeepers for AT infantry purposes. You know, if you do now have the Apollo, or yeah, the Apollo's being gunned down by the Jet Tengus. Got a handful of javelin troops flying some good rockets there. The tank busters here, transported by a sudden transport. Prospector trying to go for crush there, gets a triple or quadruple crush onto those tank busters. Now he's trying to let the sudden transport die due to a sudden, not sudden discharge, honorable discharge there, and he will get gunned down the rest of the ore refinery with the Mecha Tengus, and it looks like not. And the ore refinery does go down to the honorable discharge of the sudden transport. He probably should not have gunned down that thing. And now the prospector being pulled on out. Looks like one of those, another prospector does go down. Chopper VXs go down as well. Jet Tanker goes down as well. And I've got the tsunami tanks and infantry forces advance forward. He needs some anti-aircraft support, so maybe some Striker VXs that walk along with these tsunami tanks. Do now have a multi-gun turret here, find a good volley onto the tsunami tanks. And tsunami tanks are now throwing some rounds into the assault destroyer. The anti deflector has been pulled on the field. Tank busters are here as well. They do not get their rounds diverted. And that multi-gun turret does go down. Got a nice point defense drone there. Assault destroyer does get a good crush and does get taken out by the tank busters. More crushes there on the allied infantry. I think all the tsunami tanks are down. Got the Mega Tengus and the tank buster facing forward. Bomber comes up forward as well. Looks like largely throw miss there, and now the rest of these Mega Tengus will get gunned down by the Apollos. This Apollo will get gunned down there. That was an elite Apollo. There's two Apollos right there as well. One will get gunned down. The rest of the jet tankers will go down as well. Multi-gun turret being pulled on out, trying to deal with the infantry forces. All of Yellow's army is dead. Green's army is badly bruised and beaten. Got a heroic Apollo on the field. I'm not sure what happened to this refinery. Maybe it's sold off. Refinery core plant on the field. You got a hydrofoil here. The Apollo will spot nothing. And it looks like the MCV is making his way maybe trying to get towards the naval expansion. Not sure what it's doing at the moment. You now have Imperial Warrior advancing forward, just trying to scout out his opponent. That was a bit overkill. Tsunami tank now advancing out to sea. Of course, does throw the weapon jammer there, jams the tsunami tank. Apollo's advancing forward. We got the Vindicator as well as the Cryocopter. Oh, there's an extra core collector there. I remember correctly, I think I remember the explanation of what happens if you put multiple ore collectors there. You actually do get an ever so slight increase in ore collection, but it's generally not worth it. Dozer Core being pulled out on the field. Maybe Rocket Angels? That's a stupid idea. So we got this hydrofoil here. Weapon jammer is enabled, so even if it sends over a single air chopper VX to deal with it, or a Mecha Tengu or Tsunami tank, it will get jammed. He needs to send two. And he does find a volley there onto that heroic Vindicator. Of course, he can repair himself. Do now have these Striker VXs advancing forward. Do now have a Cryo getting being deployed on Al as well. Raising out a lot of this infrastructure right here. Though he may not get the power plants, actually. One power plant does get frozen. He has these guys in anti-aircraft ready. The power plant does get unfrozen there. Bomb splits hit the chilled power plant and does miss the ore collector and the ore refinery, but does take out the tier 2 Mecha Bay. There's probably going to be a Mecha Bay being pulled out right there. We've got the assault destroyer trying to make its way out onto land. Now I do have a good, decent force here, but just nothing solid either. Both sides don't have a solid force. Striker VXs are nice, but they can't deal with Assault Destroyer. If they transform, then they'll be vulnerable to the Apollos. You have now a final squadron being pulled on out. And this Mecha Tengu does get frozen. It's a fully heroic one, does get some damage on this power plant. Shrinks down the Mecha Tengu as well, and now the Prospector will crush it. Hitting off an elite Prospector. Do now have these Apollos advancing forward with one Crowcopter. There's a Vindicator here to support as well, so eyeing for some freezing. Has a good anti-aircraft escort. It looks like this refinery may be still chilled. It just looks discolored to me. And this Ore Collector may get wiped out there. Throws that bomb a bit too early. It does lose out one of the Apollos as well. Single Jet Tengu does get some damage there, but does fall back now. Do not have a single Tsunami tank being frozen out at sea. There's nothing he can do to stop that. He does get destroyed off there. Yep, this ore refinery is just gonna be... These are all discolored, right? Or maybe I'm going crazy. I actually think I'm just going crazy. They look all discolored to me. We do now have these Assault Destroyers advancing forward. Oh, there's a spy. That spy is what it is. So we do have a spy here, which could be very interesting. Maybe he's trying to get bribe onto these Striker VXs. He doesn't really have an army for the spy to really go after. But of course, it could do some work. Let's keep an eye on the spy. The spy is interesting. Of course, he maybe just want to let it join the assault and hard counter any sort of meager force opponent may try to pull out. Point defense showing on the field. Now I do have another final show on the field. I'm not exactly sure how effective it is versus all these forces. He's now sitting on top of the beacon, so the spy could eat a final squadron there. It does get a crowd getting there. Final squadron does miss the spy. And the crowd again does get some great freezes there. Now can advance onto low ground. It's going to lose this ore refinery there. Peacekeepers advancing forward as well. There's a large number of tank busters here. And they need some more infantry support. It's also Dojo Corps over there when we needed some pure warriors. The spy is still there. And if you got a nice dogfight here, Striker VXs do transform as well. Takes out the Apollos. And the spy could... Here's a spy right here. I'm just keeping an eye on the spy because this is just... That could change quite a bit. Does transform away from the spy. Even though he doesn't realize he's transforming away from the spy. EMP missile does miss. Spy is along the southern cliff side. There's a good number of tank busters here. Needs more anti-infantry, probably. Got an ore collector here. That could be some anti-infantry. Has a naval expansion as well, and some Yari mini-subs. Even getting like a chunk of these infantry units wouldn't be half bad for the spy. It does cost 1,000. We got the what's it called? The Emperor's Rage right there. It does take out the Mecha Bay, just a tier 1 Mecha Bay. He doesn't need to grab a whole lot from the bribe effect. Say if you spend 1,000 credits to take 3 tank busters. Tank busters what? 200? Oh, probably a little bit more than that. He doesn't have a dojo. Javelin troops are 300. So if you were to say grab 2 tank busters, you may think, oh, he just spent 1,000 to get 600 credits worth of stuff. But in actuality, that also means their opponent loses 600 credits worth of stuff. So in actuality, that would be a difference in 1,200. So even just grabbing 2 tank busters is technically worth it with a bribe. You don't need to make bribe super high value. These small things could be very, very effective. Though the spy himself is quite expensive. They have to factor that cost as well, and most times spies get 1 bribe off before dying. So count the cost of the spy. You don't need to grab a whole lot. Probably 3 tank busters and they'll pay himself off. I actually don't know how much Spy costs either way.
Sir, where's the trouble?
Spy is 1,000, so imagine just spending 2,000. So you grab 3 tank busters, which should be... There are 300, just want to make sure that's correct. So say you grab 3 tank busters, that's 900 down for your opponent, plus 900 for you. So imagine that's basically 1,100 cost Spy, while your opponent loses 900. So technically, that's getting pretty close to break even, but for him 4 tank busters, then it definitely did pay for itself. Jet tank goes and Chopper VX is getting some great damage there. Does get a good hits on the power plant, does gun down some of these javelin troops. And this force is getting seeing quite a bit of fire right there. And some of these bullets are flying off this. I thought they were wave force artillery. Pyro again is going to come forward. If he did not respond to it, he's too busy microing over here. He may lose that entire force to something. And most of that force is down. Chopper VX is getting some great hits there. A lot of them fully heroic. Wait, can you bribe and get an MCV? The Spy's right here. The Assault Destroyer can body block the MCV. And now here comes the bonsai charge. He does get a bonsai charge there. Oh, bribe off there. But apparently bonsai charge makes you immune to Spy bribes, apparently. That's interesting to note. Chopper VX is getting, or Striker VX is getting some great damage there. One of them remains. And Green does back out of the game there. I wonder, I did not realize bribes cannot affect against Bonsai Charge Imperial Warriors. That is something good to know. By the way, this is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.